Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It is the focus of what they do at this wonderful center that helps with mental health. And they work with people, all different types, from children, teens, adults, couples, on and on and on, for a positive outcome. New Beginnings is that center in Massachusetts. They're all about making lives better. And they also do a lot of charitable work. We're going to talk about some of that work today with a project that's very near and dear to the woman who is our Diamond of the Decade behind New Beginnings. Sherri Alexandrovich is back with us on the program today. How you doing?
I'm doing good today. How about yourself?
Real good. And in the past, we have talked about one of the programs that you initiated there, and it's your goal to make life better for children, specifically, another part of the country. And we're going to hyper focus on that today and what the rest of us can do to help them. And once you hear this journey and the difference that it's made so far, you're going to want to help. It's going to pull at your heart. Not trying to guilt anybody, but you're going to feel it. We're talking about children in Ghana. And you've been there. Actually, you were there in the last 6 months, I want to say, correct?
February. Yes, in February. We went for a week.
Wow. And this was one of a few trips. You've been there before, right?
Nope. So that was our first trip, and we are going to be going back again. And we haven't decided on what the date's going to be, and it really depends on what we can get for money raised. Because the next time that we go down, we want to be able to do have the unveiling of the bathrooms and the showers and, whatever the 2025 goals are. So we're just really kind of gauging what this weekend's gala is going to bring in for fundraising, or what's going to happen in terms of, when we can get enough money to be able to start the construction in the addition for the orphanage that's down there.
Take us to the beginning of this journey. If I remember correctly, this started with you talking to one of the people you work with?
Yes. So I interviewed her for a position. Her name is Sherri, and she came in last November, and she had interviewed for a position. She just graduated with her master's degree. And as we were talking, she started telling me about Blessed Nourishment, which is the nonprofit that she started and was launching that in the middle of November. And so as she's telling me the story of the kiddos at this orphanage, the Vadim orphanage, and it's outside of Accra in Ghana. And just as she was starting to kind of describe, there's 78 kids there. The age ranges all the way from 2 up to there is somebody as old as 28 that's still residing there. And that particular individual, he's blind, so he has a lot of special needs. So as she was kind of describing to me the conditions of the orphanage, her passion, the reasons that she wanted to start Blessed Nourishment, it struck a chord in my heart. And, New Beginnings has always been about giving back to the community and being able to offer as much support in community events, which we've done over the past 11 years that we've been open. So I helped her. We launched Blessed Nourishment in November. And from the fundraising that we did with that, we were able to, in February, now we're talking, end of November, December, January, less than 3 months, we were able to build a dining hall structure from scratch with the money that New Beginnings donated. These kiddos had nowhere to eat. So if it's raining out, they're eating at their desks. If it's nice out, they're eating underneath a tree to try to get some shade. So we were able to build a dining hall with 2 sinks of running water and put the picnic tables in there for them. In addition to that, their water filtration system was solar. So the problem with that is when there was rain or when it was cloudy, they didn't have running water. So we were able to go down and help them with some of that filtration system so that it would run when it didn't need the solar power. We were also able to build a new sign for the orphanage, and we did it in memory of one of the owner's daughters who passed away recently. And so we were able to unveil the through that. We brought down school supplies, backpacks, food, drinks, new stoves for the orphanage. We were able to bring down 2 nurse practitioners to do eyesight, physicals, hearing, and so that we could then buy whatever it is that the kiddos needed in terms of, glasses or hearing aids or any, impairment that way. And what else did we do? We got new uniforms, and then New Beginnings started a scholarship for them as well. So in Ghana, once you hit high school, you have to pay for your education. So it's no longer just available to you. So New Beginnings started a scholarship, which we'll do every year. And it's $1,000 for the top student for the male and $1,000 for the top student of the female, for them to go on to what they call university. And we're also hoping to start a music program this year. So when we went down in February, they had a few musical instruments, and they had choreographed a song for us, so that when we came down and we did kind of the unveiling of the dining hall, they had the trumpets and the clarinets, and I think they had like 3 or 4 different musical instruments, and we really wanted to be able to expand upon that. That was the good work that we were able to do. So when we went there, kind of the bittersweet part of that is there's just not enough bedrooms. And that's a 2026 goal, is to build 2 additional bedrooms, 1 for each gender. And then I'd love to build another structure, because what happens is these kids from the orphanage, they come back after they go to school, when they go away for school. So they're starting to get a larger population of older kids. So it would be nice to have a separate building for the older kids to kind of reside at, separate from the younger kids. Because as of right now, you have a room, maybe the size of an office, and you've got all the age ranges of the boys and the girls in each separate room sleeping on floors. So they're on the floors, on their blankets, because the bunk beds were made out of wood. And with the bed bug infestation, they weren't able to salvage the beds. So what we're hoping to do is have some metal shipped down there, because then you can't just buy things off of Amazon and ship it to Ghana. That's not how it works. So we're hoping to get some metal so that they can build some metal bunk beds for the kids. And so at least we've got some of the kiddos not sleeping on the floors. They can be sleeping on a bunk bed. And one of the moments for me when we did the unveiling for the dining hall is these guys don't have sinks or running water there. So these kids were just playing in the sinks like it was, that they had never seen it before. It was just incredible to see. They didn't care about the dining hall. They didn't care about, the younger kids. They didn't care about the picnic tables that were in there and whatnot. They were all about the water and how it was running and what it felt like. And the videos of them is just absolutely incredible. It's just incredible. The gratitude that these kiddos have. I had mentioned it a little bit last week. When we brought hot lunches down, so in addition to the orphanage, I had said to Sherisa last year when we were planning, I said, I love that we're going down to the orphanage. I love that we're going down and we're doing all this great work. But is there other things that we can do? We're there for a week. What else can we do? I want this to have the most amount of impact. I want us to be able to do the most that we can do when we're there. So there was 3 elementary schools that we went to, and each of the kids in all 3 elementary schools, we delivered backpacks and all the school supplies, new uniforms, and hot lunch. So these kiddos packaged up their lunch. Some of them had a few bites and brought it home to their families. I mean, it's just so heartwarming to see the gratitude and how much they care about their siblings or their parents to want to bring home their food that, they don't get hot lunch. That's not what comes with part of their school day. So that was just, it was an incredible experience. My 11-year-old grandson, I kind of talk about him on and off throughout the podcast. I've adopted him. He came, and what an absolute amazing experience for him to go and just see how other kids live and the needs, and be able to read stories and hand out all the school supplies to the kids, and the pictures of them hugging him and kissing him, and just the smiles on their faces and the smile on his face. It was unbelievable. And knowing we were coming, each of the schools had like a little parade for us. So when we pulled up, they had music and these cutest little dances that these kids were doing. It was unbelievable just to watch at each of three of the places that we went. And then the letter that we got from them about just opening doors internationally, and how grateful that they were for what we were able to go down and to provide, was just makes it all worth it. It's a cause that's you can't describe, and money goes so far there. So we've been promoting like crazy this gala that's this Saturday night, but even for people who can't go to the gala, the donation, I mean, $5, $10, $15, whatever people can give, you'd be surprised at, first of all, how quickly it adds up, but second of all, how far it goes, and what we were able to build a building from nothing. For what New Beginnings just donated last year alone was incredible. Each of the bathrooms, we've got the estimate, 1 bathroom per gender with 2 showers, 2 toilets, and 2 sinks with running water, $8,000 a piece. That's it. $16,000 for the 2 bathrooms. My goal would be to raise $20,000 to be able to get the music program going, get the bathrooms done. The music program, I'd love to be able to get the nurses to come twice a year. And that's the other thing. They don't have the health care in Ghana. If you're sick, you can't, like Massachusetts, United States, if you're sick, you go to the hospital. If you don't have health insurance, they don't refuse you. You have a bill. But in Ghana, if you don't have health insurance and you don't have money, they will not treat you. You will not be treated. And there was Sherissa had told me a story when before she had started working for me, when we were interviewing, about she would send her birthday money down every year to this orphanage. And one of the adult females who was working at the orphanage had gotten sick. And she just happened to have sent down $100, which was enough to cover her medicine. She would have died over $100 medical bill. I don't know that people really understand the magnitude of what happens in some of these foreign countries, and how far the smallest of donation can go to ensure that people can get what they need, the medical and the vaccinations and the exams. It's just incredible. It's incredible.
My head is still spinning,
Yeah.
Sherri, at barely, I don't know, what are we talking here? 10 months? Not even, no. You said November.
November.
Yeah, 8 months-ish. What you've accomplished from the start.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it? You might not have even known the name of this country in Africa. I think it's West Africa. You might not have even known that name when Teresa mentioned it to you. What hooked you? What got you?
The kids.
So you saw pictures of?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
The slideshows that she has of the conditions of the orphanage prior to us starting to go in there and provide some stuff was, if you could look at those pictures and then not feel like you have $5 to give or $10 to give.
Honestly, and I know this is horrible to say, but it speaks right here. I don't even want to see the pictures. I'll just donate because I don't think I could personally handle it. I'm going to be honest. Like I don't think, and I'm going to say this, we all go through tough times. Life is ups and downs and everything is relative, but we're blessed.
So
We
blessed.
don't realize it, what we got going on there. I mean, just the fact that they didn't have clean water when the sun's in back of the clouds. Like,
The boys don't have they're outside. That their bathrooms are outside. No roofs, no, they're outside. There's not like when
right.
I say that we need to build two new bathrooms, we need to build two new bathrooms with walls, with, I mean they're
Roof.
urinating in like a open, it's, yes, the conditions are deplorable there. It's not, people should not I mean, the gratitude towards the people who run the orphanage and the donations that they get for the orphanage, because there's not state funding. That's not, I mean, there isn't state funding that supports that. And, so the money that they have is what they make off of the school and the teachers. And, because there are kids who get bused to the orphanage to go to attend the elementary school that's there. So that's how they do generate some of the money. But I was even asking about like their social services down there, which there isn't any. So I was, when we were down there, I had said to Sharisa, I'm curious, how do the kids find the orphanage? How do they get where they're going to go? And really what happens essentially is if you are orphaned and your family passes away, you're homeless, you're on the streets. And if you're lucky enough that somebody who has an orphanage sees you, finds you, brings you in, but there's no social like here, right? I mean, if your family passes away, we have DCF or we have a social service system in most states that has foster care. That's not how it works. You then become homeless. And so the lucky children, the 78 lucky individuals that were able to get, be taken in by this orphanage, it is not the norm there. There are not, that's not the case for everybody. And we were at one of the elementary schools and one of the kiddos got news that their mother had passed away. Their older sister was 13 and their father was dead. So where is this kid going to go? I mean, that's the reality of it is.
Wow.
Right? I mean, I can't even.
You know what moves me, aside from all of this, is the gratitude. Like you have described before, how grateful these children are, like genuinely grateful. And that's right there, that's a reason enough. Like they truly know and appreciate. It's not a show. It's not an act.
Oh, absolutely not. Well, how could it be? I mean,
right.
And so we went down in February, and Sharice's and I's birthday are both in February. And so we were there for her birthday. So we brought a cake and with the orphanage and we celebrated. And my birthday was 2 days after we had gotten back. And I woke up that morning to a video of these kids singing Happy Birthday, Auntie Sherri, the morning of my birthday. And just
best present ever.
Best present ever. And I'll tell you, I do what I do because I was that kid. I was that kid that nobody invested in. I was, emancipated at 15. I had my own apartment. I, know what it feels like to get home at 2:00 in the morning, pack up 4 kids because I didn't only have my own children. I was raising my niece and nephew at 2:00 in the morning in the middle of winter to drive home my babysitter, to come back home, put four kiddos under the age of 10 back to bed, study to do my associate's degree, get up at 6 and do it all over again. And when I look at some of those most challenging times in my life where I had to make their clothes or make their curtains or, make their costumes because we had no money, or when, it came time for field trips and I didn't have the extra couple of dollars in my wallet to be able to afford that. Even in those worst of times when I was hitchhiking and I didn't have a vehicle, nothing compares to what these kids are going through in Ghana, because at least here there were opportunities. There were more opportunities. And so overcoming and succeeding here is just, in my opinion, coming from that environment and that situation, my experience was when I reflect back on even how hard that was for me to overcome and be 19 with kids and a high school education and to end up, working as hard as I did. These kids, they don't even get an opportunity to go to high school without the money to be able to earn a scholarship, to be able to go on to college. So people will say to me all the time, why Ghana, why this, what's the cause? These kids just, you see their pictures and you meet them. And without reservation, the hug, the kiss, the smile, the thank you. We were handing out pencils and erasers, and you might have thought you gave them a $50 pair of Nikes. I mean, it was gratitude and hope are probably two of the things that I really has drawn me to those kids. And so like I said to Sherri, so we're going down, we're doing all this great with the orphanage. I want to be able to do more. So we went to the elementary schools and we were able to, provide some uniforms and backpacks to those kids and read them some stories. But in addition to that, just being able to be there and to help them out and just show them that people care. Yeah. So I said, I want to, outside of all the foundation, I want to just be able to give little backpacks full of fun stuff to the kids at the orphanage. So I brought down 78, the amount of luggage that it took to get to Ghana was incredible. So I filled these little, the knapsacks, the string bags, because I didn't have a lot of room with color books, crayons, bubbles, markers, journals for the older kids, personal hygiene products for the older kids, toothbrushes, toothpastes, deodorant, things like that. Soccer balls, to see these kids, they were out playing in the yard with their soccer balls and their bubbles. And one of the little girls, there were two kids. There was a little boy and there was a little girl that were, I don't know how old they were, but maybe 2 and 4. And oh boy, if I could have taken those two home, I don't know. The little girl was going to drink the bubbles. She didn't know, they didn't know what bubbles were.
Wow. Just like mind blowing. Side note, talk about books. I have friends who are children's authors, and I'm going to ask them if they would be open to donating books.
That would be so
and I'm sure they will. And I want to do this. I want to challenge everyone to help these kids, but do it this way. Think for a moment how many subscriptions you have that you probably have forgot about. $10 here, $12 there, $7 there, that are just reoccurring. And once you think about them, or look at your credit card statement and realize, what the heck am I paying for? I don't need that anymore. Imagine what that $7, $10, whatever it is, what that would do based on what you're telling us, Sherri. Like, just mind blowing. How can we connect? How can we donate if somebody is feeling it in their heart that they want to share? What do we do?
So Blessed Nourishment so Sherissa on her website, so it's spelled just the way it is, Blessed Nourishment. On her website, there's a donate here page, and there's a Cash App, Venmo. There's a couple of different QR codes that she has up there that you can make a donation to. So New Beginnings sponsored the Summer Jam this past Saturday in Worcester, which is a local event that, basketball kind of tournaments go on throughout the day. And I set up the trifold of the pictures of the work that we did with a little donation jar. And I got a couple of, Walmart gift cards and said, for everybody who puts in even $1, you get a raffle ticket to I raffled off the Walmart gift cards just as an incentive. We walked to, now this isn't attached to my bank account, right? So I had asked Sherissa, I'm like, hey, how do we do this weekend? I was thinking maybe $50, right? $250.
Wow.
I couldn't believe we were at the Summer Jam. People $1 here, just Venmo, Cash App, $5 here, $10 here. Somebody donated $50. There was one person that I supervised 14 years ago that I ran into at Summer Jam. He donated, I didn't know till this morning, he donated $150 to the cause. I was like, cool. Right? I mean, so yeah.
I'm on the website now. It is just what it sounds like, blessednourishment.com. There's a quote from Sherissa. your coworker who started this that I'd love to read. And it says,
Yeah.
every child deserves love, nourishment, and a future filled with hope. Together, we can be the hands that lift them toward brighter days. And when you think about nourishment, right away we think about food.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just about food.
No.
We need to be filled up with love, hope, faith. Nourish us with that. And of course, first and foremost would be food. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing this today. I know we've talked about it here and there. We never went as deep or even I didn't even know there was a website like this.
Yeah.
Perfect. Done deal. That's amazing.
Yeah. And it's right there. And I'll tell you, Sherisa is one of the most kind-hearted, beautiful souls. I mean, this is a person, if you knew her story. So she's from Ghana. Her family's from Ghana. They live here. And she came here, and her heart was, during COVID, wanting to help the community in any way that she could. She took her own money. Now, she was going through grad school because she just graduated, and would send birthday money, $100 here, $50 there, down to help these kids. This for her comes from such a pure place of wanting to help and give back to her community, to the kids that she can identify with, and just her passion is so deep that it's really hard to not just.
It's really hard not to help when
Right.
everything is clear and vetted. Many of us, you go somewhere, somebody's standing outside a supermarket, grocery store, whatever, you want to help, but you're like, because I've been burned before, et cetera, et cetera. You've been there.
Mm-hmm.
She's from there. We all know where the money's going.
Mm-hmm.
No brainer. There's no excuse. Get rid of those subscriptions. You're wasting your money.
Right.
And put it.
Well, and it's funny because somebody said that to me on Saturday at the Summer Jam. They said, it's the same exact thing. You see people that are advertising, wanting money and donations, but here are the pictures. They're like, I see you in the picture, Sherri. We see you there. It's clearly Africa. We can see you. You're there. In New Beginnings, I said to Sherisa, I'm going to put New Beginnings behind you 3,000% because we're an established business. We've been open 11 years. We've got a staff of 48. So there's genuineness, with who we are. We're a real established organization supporting and trying to build Blessed Nourishment to be able to give this money to. And like I was telling everybody who donated, you know what? Go on, keep on that website. You're going to see every time we go to Ghana, every time we hit a milestone, you're going to see those pictures and what we're putting the money towards and what the goals are and things like that. So you can watch the progress. You can be part of it. You'll see the videos. We'll be there.
I'm looking at them right now.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm looking at the
Oh, did you see the little girl with the bubbles? Oh my God.
Ooh, haven't found that one yet.
Oh, she's just like, oh my gosh.
Haven't seen that one yet, but I will be searching for that.
Incredible.
Amazing.
She may just be on my phone. I the pictures. I don't know if she's up there or not. I'll have to make sure she gets up there because she was. Oh.
I just see all the kids holding up the backpacks, and then just the looks on their faces, just amazing. Thank you for sharing this today. Really,
thank you so much
amazing.
for helping me promote this. Like I said, the gala is this Saturday night. I know that it's in Massachusetts and Worcester. People might be able to come, but any donation would just be so helpful, and I would just be so grateful for. And I really want to get these kids. I would love to go there for Christmas and have their bathrooms be ready. Help them have bathrooms for Christmas.
A little goes a long way. BlessedNourishment.com. Or if anybody wants to reach out, has a question. New Beginnings Center. What's the rest of that website?
So it's newbeginningswc.com.
WC.com. Great. Thank you so much for today. Really appreciate it. And we're dedicated to spreading the word. We're going to keep doing it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody listening and anything you can give. Thank you so much.
Good luck with the gala this weekend.
Great. Thank you.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Let's go inside the mind of a 10-year-old.
I should have worn those earrings today. I like those earrings. Gabby has those awesome earrings. I need to ask her where she got those, but that's just what she would want me to do. I'll have Michaela ask her for me.
Buckle up, Sarah.
Yeah, but then Michaela will be like, why don't you just ask her yourself? That's just like Michaela.
Sarah, buckle up.
Michaela's such a great name. I wish I was called Michaela. There's like a dozen Sarahs in my class.
Hey, we're not hitting the road until you buckle up, honey.
Oh yeah, seatbelt. I forget sometimes because my brain is like busy, you know? I wonder if there's pizza at school today.
Sometimes it can be tough to get through to your kids, but it's not impossible. Always make sure they're wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Remember, you have the keys, you have the power. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.